Samidha, I have made you the host of this session. Am I audible to you, Samidha?
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Hey,
Yes,
hey,
sir, you're audible.
hey, dear, how are you?
Sir, I'm good, sir.
Thank you very much for coming, Samidha. Thank you very much. They all need you right now, है ना? They all are having a PI session with, मतलब in Symbiosis, and I know that you have corrected last year. So please share your insight. And you have said that some of your friends are always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My friends are also there. There is Vaishnavi and Akshay. They are also from my batch.
Okay.
They are here.
Hello, Vaishnavi.
Hello, sir.
How are you, Vaishnavi?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm very much fine, Vaishnavi. Just I had just finished interview with two of my students, and it we basically thought that it will go for an hour, but because the topics are so much deep to discuss, I just finished it 4 minutes ahead. So right now the what we can say, the stage is all yours. And how hello Akshay, how are you?
Hi, sir.
Hello Akshay, how are you, brother? All good?
Yes, sir. I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you very much for all of you to coming. And please, to all the student, ask whatever the question you people think and are required or important for you for this exam and for your future and other perspective. And please, to all the three seniors, to all the three mentors, help them as much as you can. I have just made Samida the host. I am muting myself, and you people can go ahead. This session can be either you type in the chat box or you just speak it out. है ना? You can have both things. So thank you very much. The stage is all yours, Samida. Namaskar. Hello Vaishnavi,
Hi,
and
sir.
so this is also hello Akshay, hello
Hi, sir.
Vaishnavi, hello Samita. So this is also a character in our story. अगर video on है तो मैं आपको इसे introduce करूँ. This is Piglu. So now he is always there in class. So अभी ये अगले साल NLU में जाने वाला है. तो ठीक है, आप लोग अपना सेशन शुरू करिए. मैं खुद को म्यूट कर लेता हूँ. And the stage is all yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. So I'll start. Okay, so there's one question already, but before we answer that, we just want to give you an overview of what the PI round actually is. So you all already did your SLAT and VAT. So for PI, the first and most important thing that you guys should keep in mind is that you guys are required to upload certain documents on the platform. So while uploading the documents, please make sure that the documents are clearly visible, they are properly scanned, and there's no as such issues, because you are not allowed to re-upload the documents, and if they're not visible they won't mark you, so please don't make that mistake. And the second tip is for CV. So Vaishnavi and Akshay will tell you how to prepare a CV, because they are also there and they have done it before.
Yeah, so when it came to preparing my CV, I just wrote down whatever achievements I got. Yeah, now is not the time for you guys to be picky. You just write down. I think I wrote, given some accomplishment, some drawing competition I got in my third standard. It doesn't matter. I mean, just make it lengthy. Just fill in things. And if you feel like you're short of things, just don't worry. But just don't lie. I mean, just don't write in things that you haven't gotten in, because they will question you based on your CV. Like I think from few of our batchmates wrote about their sports qualifications, like, and they legit asked them to like play the sport or something. So yeah, so just don't lie in your CV. Just write whatever there is there. Just don't leave out anything.
Okay. So for me, I had to write this thing called a list of achievements for my CV instead of a CV. So in that thing, I just wrote whatever achievements I've done since ninth grade, because high school. And in that thing, you can write you can divide it into parts and make it more systematic so that it looks much more presentable. Yeah, you just write about the like any achievements you've got. Either it is academic or non-academic ones, and then try to keep your CV under 1.5 page maximum, so that it is easier for the interviewers to go through them. Yeah, that's my.
Okay. Okay, so you guys got a format from the college how to prepare the CV. Now, making a CV is very, very important, and it's the first step, because your interviewer will know and have an impression about who you are through your CV. So, it's very important that your CV is very, very comprehensive, formal, and nicely presented, because you don't want your first impression to be bad. So the first thing you need to keep in mind before making a CV is that do not bluff in your CV, because they are in that position since so long, they'll get that. So I have the format for this year's CV. If you guys want, I can share that format and tell you step by step how to add CV or how to prepare your if you guys are interested, or that'll take too long. I don't know. Okay, so I can share my screen. I have the format and I'll let you know guys how to prepare the CV. Or can you guys see the screen? Can you guys see the CV?
Yes.
It's visible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the format that you guys got how to prepare your CV for. So the first point is your career goals. So here, what you're supposed to write is why do you want to become a lawyer? You have to basically convince them that you are a great candidate for them. You know, as a law student, you'll be a very good candidate. You have to explain it like 2 3 lines. So one thing, whenever you're writing stuff like this, you have to make sure that you add a personalized and a unique touch to it, so it's look original. Because whenever you search in Google, there will be multiple students who will have same answers. Why do they want to do something? But you don't want that, so add a personal touch to it. There were like few students who asked me how to write that. So the best way you can present is that, right, why do you want to become a lawyer and what is your motivation. Then your academic achievements, you can write whatever academic achievements you have, co-curricular, extracurricular, add important
Okay.
stuff, add stuff.
Sammy,
Mhm.
Yash sent a message. What if we haven't decided yet?
Okay, you can take that question.
As in, decided what? Like, decide as in why you want to become a lawyer? Oh, okay. No, they're not specifically asking which field you're going into. They're just asking why you, decide to become a lawyer.
Yeah, they won't ask you if you want to go into criminal corporate. They don't expect you
Yeah.
knowing that, because see, even we completed our first year, we still don't know
We
where
have
do we
no
want to
clue.
go. Yeah, we have no clue
Yeah.
if we want to take up criminal, corporate, civil. We are just exploring right now. They are not asking for a field. You're not applying for LLM. You're going for an undergrad course. Your career goal should be like, see, it should be maybe you want to do something for the society or for yourself, and you think that law will help you emerge as a better person, or you think that will help you in future. You want to do this because you want to help people.
Yeah.
Why do you want to take law? That is your career goal. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be very specific.
So here's the thing, right? Once you join law school, they'll teach you, like in different courses, they'll teach you the different types of laws. So in that time, you'll be able to understand whether you like it or not, and whether you want to pursue it in future. So right now, it's better to not write very cliche stuff like, "Oh my God, I want to do law because that is my dream, and joining law school will be my dream come true." Because everyone's gonna write
That's
that.
what I wrote. What's wrong with that? Huh?
It's very cliche. It's just that,
What?
try to make it more personal. Like for me, my granddad was a lawyer, so I would like to follow his footsteps and be as great as him, and something like that, right? Just make it as personal as possible, so that once the interview is like created, that they keep you in mind because it's very unique. Do you get the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, you want to express yourself through the CV and leave an impression that stays with them. That's why preparing a CV is the most important step. Now, next, you have your academic achievement and general achievements that you have. Add everything you have done, like every little thing. So, while preparing CV, not only for this, even in future when you will apply from internships and all of that, write whatever you have done. If you have volunteered, if you're a part of a council, your student council, just present it in a way, because all of this expresses who you are as a person. Like it'll show leadership skills, your communication skills, and a lot of soft skills which they test through the personal
Okay,
interview
okay,
round.
okay. Yash, I didn't mean that literally. I mean, that was like a figure of speech. So just, yeah, don't add that. And,
Okay, it's ideal to add your certificates from ninth onwards because that's your high school credit.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't add from preschool or all of that. Go from ninth. Now you have reasons for selecting BA, BBA, LLB, and SLS Pune. So this is the question which they lay a lot of emphasis on, and this is the question where you can basically stand apart. So it's basically like an SOP. You just have to explain in 3 4 lines why do you want to get into SLS Pune. So just have to convince the interviewer that okay, you are a good candidate and you like the college. So again, be personal, add your own experiences, add why do you want to study in SLS Pune. You can talk about
Yeah,
faculties.
and one of the most frequently asked questions during PI is basically they'll ask you, what if you wrote CLAT and you got into a top NLU? Will you
Yeah.
go for a top level NLU or symbiosis? That's like one of the most frequently asked questions. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people got asked that question. So when they ask you that question, don't say, "Oh, okay, even if I get into Bangalore, I go into symbiosis," because they know that you're bluffing. So just tell them what you feel. Like, just don't tell them, "Oh, don't worry, I'll go choose symbiosis forever." Don't do that, because yeah, they'll straight up know that you're bluffing.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys already got your CLAT result, no? So you guys know which channel you are going. We didn't get our CLAT result before SLS ka interview.
Yeah,
So yeah, the tip is please make your CV personalized, and if you guys need any help, we can share in our CVs and we can help you with that. So make sure your CV is okay before. Okay, what do we have to write in any other column? Okay, so any other column is for like any other volunteering work or any other work that you have done that you don't have to mention in your CV. Like they have specific columns for extracurricular, co-curricular, academic achievement. But apart from that, there can be a lot of stuff that you have done, like volunteering, volunteered for something.
yeah. Of course, you can mention the
Yeah,
startup you
definitely.
started.
That's a very
Yeah,
great point.
that's a
See,
really
that
good
is what
thing.
you mention in your other achievements column. Like you started a startup or you volunteered for something, worked with an NGO, did an internship, or something which has not been mentioned before. So yeah, that's the CVCA point. Now, the second point is before your interview, please dress well, dress formally. Don't sit casually because your attire also speaks a lot. So
Yeah, you can
please.
add your sports certificate.
Yeah, so please dress formally and interview tips is okay. So now I'll tell you what PI round actually is. It's just one thing that they just test you as your personality. They are not there to judge your knowledge because that has already been done through SLAT. They're just there to understand who you are as a person. So if you don't know questions, if they start asking you difficult questions from GK legal, it's very possible. Even they understand you don't have to know everything under the sun. When I was taking my interview, they asked me a lot of GK questions and I didn't know one or two of them. So just be honest and say that I don't know this question. Can you please ask me something else? Instead of, bluffing around or just beating around the bush and saying something that you don't know. It's completely okay to say that I don't know this answer. Can you please ask me this or something else? I'll be comfortable answering that. Even they understand that. Now, for preparing for PI, first thing is there are some cliche interview questions that we all have to know, like tell me about yourself, what are your strengths and weaknesses, why law, or if you have switched from a field like from science to you're going into law, they might ask you that, why did you were a science student, now why are you doing law? There might be some reason for that. They might ask you questions like these. So these are basically your personalized question which whose answers will be yours. Nobody else can prepare it for yourself. You have to answer them. And then there'll be some questions that will test your knowledge. So they can ask you GK questions. So for GK questions, what you can do is prepare the basic landmark events that have happened, recently, which are very much in news. So just before my interview, MS Dhoni announced his retirement and I belong from Ranchi, his city. So I was asked a lot of questions around sports, cricket, other sports person. They might even ask you questions about the city you belong to. Like they asked me, tell me three very famous sports person from your city or your state, whether your state has this, about your state or not. They can ask you such questions which are very generic questions and you have to know that. Now they can even ask you questions from your high school subjects. If you had economics, history, pol science, they might ask you one or two questions here and there, but they're just basic questions. So you can't actually prepare for an interview because it just tests you holistically and your overall knowledge in everything. You just have to brush up the basic concepts, stay confident, do not bluff because it gives a very wrong impression. And even if you think that the interviewer doesn't know, the interviewer knows that you are bluffing and you are telling a lie. And yeah, they might even ask you some uncomfortable questions. Like a few of my friends wrote, they can sing and all of that, so they were asked to sing over a video
Yeah, and you
call.
have to sing.
Yeah,
There is
and if you
no
have written
denying
you
it.
can sing, you have to sing. I mean, like if you have written you
Yep.
have so many achievements in singing and all of that, you have to sing. They'll ask you to sing. They do that. So yeah, that's it. Now we have a lot of questions there.
Okay, Yash, for your latest question, do you have a preference of your own? Like, do you want to take BA or BBA?
Okay,
Have you
okay,
chosen
yeah,
that yourself?
Yash, we're just in the second year. There's no reason to.
Yeah, wait, just call us by our names. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure we're either
yeah,
your
I'm pretty
same
sure it's
age
fine.
or
By
younger
the way,
than you.
my name is not Suresh Kumar. It's my dad's account. So just yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh, Yeah. Okay, Yash, if you don't have a preference, it honestly doesn't matter much. The thing is, BBA is more towards the business side, while the BA is more towards the civil side, right? But at the same time, we do end up studying similar subjects. Like, for example, the BBA students had economics in their first year, but we as BA students will be having economics in our second year. So honestly, the subjects are very like similar to each other. It's just one or two subjects will be different from the other, but we might have them in different years. So it really depends upon you what you want to like. If you have an idea of what you want to do in the future, I chose BA in SLSP, while I chose BBA in Christ because I wasn't sure which one to go for. But at the end of the day, I chose BA because I was more into history rather than business or something else, like in the core subjects. So that's my point of view. Like my friends here, all of us are BA students, so we can ask them why they
yeah.
chose BA over BBA.
Wait, dude, no
Uh,
one asked the question.
Okay.
What are we? Weaknesses. I mean,
There's not much of a difference, like trust me, but
okay.
we all go through the same thing, but it's just like some subjects here and there. So if you chose business over history or English, go for BBA.
Okay, so
no,
there's
and
like, what should I say if the interviewers ask us
yeah,
our weaknesses are? Okay, so if you
yeah,
get this question that what my weaknesses are, please answer it honestly. Do not skip this
yeah.
question
Yeah, if you
because
procrastinate, tell them that you procrastinate. It's fine.
yeah, it's
They will know.
fine. You know what? You just have to answer it very smartly. You have to make sure
Yep.
that whatever your weakness is, you have the ability to tackle that weakness and you can even turn it around as your strength. You just don't say that I procrastinate a lot or I sleep a lot just like that. No, you don't do that. Just never do that. It turn
Yeah,
out
just
very
end
bad.
it with you're working on it.
Yeah,
You
so
end the
yeah,
yeah,
you can be very honest. So see, if I was asked what my weakness was, I can say that I overanalyze stuff, I can just I take a lot of work, but then I end up struggling because I can't say no to people. So you identify your weaknesses, but then you have to make sure that you present it in a way that it doesn't look like something that can be your shortcoming in a long run. So you can do it like, suppose if I say that I overanalyze stuff a lot. So I'll be like, I tend to overanalyze stuff or overthink stuff. But the point is, it even helps me because it helps me to deliver my best. Since I know all the pros and cons, I know everything. So it helps me making a calculated choice. But later on, it takes up a lot of time. But I'm working on myself how to overcome this and how to improve this in future. This is how you present your weaknesses. Basically, be honest, say what your weaknesses are, but be smart to tell them. Make sure after you tell your weaknesses, you have to make them believe you that you're working on your weaknesses. That's how you answer that question.
Yeah. Like for example, right? I told them that I'm a very giddy person. So they were like, okay, so what do you do about it? I was like, okay, so like while I'm a very giddy person, most people think that I'm very energetic because of it, and I'm able to communicate with them like more socially. So that the giddiness honestly helps me in a certain way, and helps me like participate in different programs all the time. So this is how you like bring your weakness into a great point and end it in a happy note, so that they think that you're already working on it or you've achieved it. So And like if you go with something more like a more genuine weakness, they'll think that you're a more honest person. And like if you bluff around a lot, they might not take you as seriously as they you would like them to. So
Yeah, just don't take up Google framed answers. If you search up what to say as my weaknesses in an interview, you'll get 100 answers there. But just don't speak that. It looks very mechanical and fake, and they'll understand that you are, just lying and making that up. Don't do that. Be honest. They'll understand. Everybody has weaknesses, but you just have to make sure that you tell them that I'm working on it and I'm a better person today than what I was yesterday. You just have to make them believe, and it's nice. Okay, so next question is why Simni? You guys want to answer that?
I'm pretty sure the interviewers will be asking you that question. But yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
me,
why Simbi?
Okay, so I'll take that up. So again, this question, the answer for this question will be very different for everybody. Now there are very basic points that you can use. That Symbiosis has a great ranking there. It's a very good private law school which has alumni network well established. Then the faculties are good, co-curricular are good, but all of this is what you find in internet. You have to include these points, but even you might feel something about the college. Like before you enter a college, and while making a decision, you think a lot of stuff. You look at the alumni network. Why do you want to study there? What opportunities the college is giving you? How will it help your overall development? How will it affect you as a person? And why do you want to spend your 5 years in that place? Because 5 years is a long, long time. So you need to understand, and it'll be very personal question. You can talk about them. Basically, this is a chance you can even flatter them by telling ki, okay, your college is very nice. I want to study there. But again, add a personal touch that how nice faculty, co-curricular stuff, the different opportunity colleges giving to you. How will it help you? And why did you choose that college? This is what basically you have to answer in all of this. Okay, there is another question, which is what do I do if I don't have much co curricular achievement? Will it affect my CV and PI? No, it will not. See, not everybody has like 20 or 50 certificates telling their co curricular achievements. Even if you have one or two, whatever you have, just present it in a very nice way. Like if you have few certificates, just present it in a nice way, and it doesn't matter much. I mean, like in your PI, answer the questions nicely, present yourself, and it's okay. People do understand. There are a lot of people who don't take up a lot of co-curricular and extracurricular and just focus on their academic. Even they get all of that, so it won't affect your CV and PI. So don't worry about that. It'll be okay.
Okay, dude, when it comes to the introduction, just keep it to the point. Basically, tell them your name, where you're from, and since it's an interview for admission, tell them why you want to take law, and then what? Probably add some extracurricular things that you have. That's it. Keep it short and keep it to the point.
yeah, tell
Introduce
them your
yourself in such a way.
hobbies.
Introduce yourself in such a way that it would help you in the give them a perspective on you on why they should choose you. So frame your answers in such a way.
Yeah, okay. So I'll tell you what to ask when they ask you to introduce yourself. Okay. So basically, yeah, you have to go through the basic point what Akshay told. Introduce your name, where are you from, what you're doing. But what you to make your answer different from what everybody else is, you can add something which is not there on your CV already. I mean, like your name is there, your education is there, your marks is there, your co-curricular, extracurricular, everything is there on your CV, and they have already read your CV. They know your CV. So after you have introduced that, okay, hi, my name is Samadha, I belong to this city, and you can add few points here and there, but include something else which is not in your CV, and you want the interviewer to know about you. You can add like I like to volunteer, or I like to do these stuff. You can add I like to read. This is my hobbies. This is the chance where you include your hobbies or something which is not in your CV, because everybody will answer the question in like 4 basic points, but if you add an extra point, that'll give you an advantage over the other candidates. Because here, for one seat, there are like 2, 3 people who are competing for that one seat, and you have to be better than them so that you are selected over them. So there's something that you have to give to them which is different from what others are not doing. So while introducing yourself, you can add your hobbies, basically something which is not on there, which is not there on your CV, but you want the interviewer to know about you.
Okay, to add to that point, here's this one thing that I usually do, right? So at the end of your introduction, at this one point, which can, like, okay, for example, I usually say, hey, I'm also an avid reader. So this type of a thing would help them, the interviewers, to ask you questions based on that. Like they might, further the question. For example, they could ask, oh, what is the latest book that you read? So I could be like, this, and then they could be like, oh, why did you like that? I could be like, because I like the characters or the plot. And then like while you explain what you really like about that book, they could judge you based on that as well. So like how you interpret that and how you include that in your real life and stuff. So if you add something which is like very personal to you like that, it could help you gain a lot more points among the interviewers. So
Yeah. Okay, wait.
are there any other questions?
Okay, yeah, there was one question. What kind of GK question were asked, like current affairs or static GK? Okay, they can ask you both current affair and static. So I'll tell you what happened in my interview was they asked me certain current affair questions. They even questioned me around history and political science. Since I was from a humanities background, so my subjects were history, pol science, economics. So they asked me questions from that, which will come under static GK, and they even asked me questions on airports. And during that time, there were a lot of railway projects and road development projects that were going on. So they asked me questions on that. So for preparing for GK questions for interview, just know the landmark stuff which is going around. They even asked about landmark judgments to few people. So it's they can ask you anything they want basically. So but there are certain cheat points that you can obviously prepare for is know the basic landmark points, landmark judgments, and basic legal stuff and your subjects which you did in high school. That should be enough. No, no, no. It's completely okay if you switch to Hindi while speaking English. That shouldn't be an issue. A lot of people do that. I mean, like, if you are not that fluent, it won't matter. You can definitely switch. Just be confident and it'll be fine.
Okay, I can only see Yash asking questions. What about the others? Honestly, feel free to ask us because we were once in your
Yeah,
position.
dude, it's
We
fine.
were
I
more
mean,
lost than you, so
yeah,
feel free to ask us questions.
it's just that we're in second year and we haven't even seen the
Can I?
college. For me, symbiosis is like a thing in the image.
Can
We
I?
haven't seen the college yet.
Can I? So
Yes, sir.
पूछ लो सवाल. ये लोग वो बता देंगे जो कोई नहीं बता पाएगा, क्योंकि ये वहां से होके निकले हैं. मैं साफ बता रहा हूँ, इंग्लिश में नहीं, मैं हिंदी में समझा रहा हूँ. पूछ लो सवाल इन लोगों से, जो चीज मैं भी नहीं समझा पाऊंगा ये लोग वो समझा देंगे. समझ रहे हो? ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच.
College offers lack of sleep and hard work. That's what the college offers.
In our first year, it taught me how to manage my time because honestly, I wasn't good at it. And being an NRI student, I had a time difference of like at least two and a
Oh
half
yeah.
hours. It was horrible. My classes started at 6:30 in the morning. So I somehow managed to create this timetable, a habit, which will honestly help me in the future, like even once I reach college. So that's one thing
Yeah,
which
and
really helped.
like, and once you start college, it becomes a bit overwhelming for you. But don't worry, okay? Because we were all confused and lost during the beginning of college because we have our own personal mail ID, this college mail ID. Every day we would get like 50, 60 mails, and I have no clue what that meant. So I would just not open it and leave it there. So the
Okay,
basic thing is,
don't do that. Do
don't
not do
worry.
that.
Don't
What?
take that tip.
No, guys, it's better. It's better to know what is happening in your college, even if you're like living in a completely different country or a continent. Please know what's happening so that you
No,
won't
dude,
feel
there's this
FOMO.
EBC Webster and all. Like, seriously, tell me, have you like opened it and like read an EBC Webster thing?
Okay, they don't know all of that right now. They
They don't
haven't
know it yet.
joined law school yet. Please don't
Let's
scare
Uh,
not
them off.
scare them.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, dude,
so what
first year
college
college, if it's online, just chill. Okay, I mean, the classes I know it's boring to sit attend classes in your house, but hey, we've been doing that for a year and we're still okay,
Yeah,
right?
we're alive. Okay,
Okay,
here's the thing, right?
what college actually offers is like you get a lot of stuff, you know. There is like he told, we get 50, 60 mails a day because every time something or the other is happening in the college. If you want to participate, the college will give you ample opportunities to, go out and explore yourself. There are hundreds of moods,
Yeah.
debate competitions, other competitions. You have a lot to explore. College itself has its councils, cells, committees, which works, which gives you a overall development to your personality. Now, law school per se is very overwhelming because we are doing two degrees
Right.
together, right? BA and LLB. So you'll have more subjects than what your other friends are doing. It'll be overwhelming, you have to study, but it's fun. If you actually like the subject, it'll be fun. And our first year was very different than what actual college experience is, because we experienced everything online. I mean, like, our fest was online, our freshers fest was online. So
Our
Symbiosis has
exams
this
are
weird,
online.
yeah, our exams were online. So Symbiosis has a very cool welcome fest, which is called Symptoms, which is very cool if you attend it offline. But we had it online over Zoom
We
call.
attended it
So
online. Yeah, it's
yeah,
not that fun when you're attending it in your bedroom.
yeah,
But
but it's actually very fun. We have annual fest. We
When do
have
you expect colleges to open? Soon, Yash. I
honestly,
hope
this
very
is
soon.
we have the same
Because
question and we keep pestering our seniors and teachers
yeah,
with the same question. It's just that
uh,
you
and
guys know the situation in Pune and it's very,
yeah.
very
So we
drastic.
actually got a mail. No, if you guys okay, yeah, in January or something, we actually got a mail saying, okay, college is reopening. You guys can come to Pune. I booked the tickets. I bought all the clothes. Everything was ready. That's when the second wave in Maharashtra came. And then the college sent us another mail. Yeah, you guys are not coming here anytime soon. Just stay there.
Yeah, it was
And we're
for March
and we're
8th.
okay, whenever
yeah,
the
we're
college
hoping.
reopens, we'll go together. Like the first year and us, we'll go together. So we'll get to know. And the
We are hoping
professors
by
are
December.
great. Yeah, we
Hopefully.
are hoping by
But
December, but we don't know.
yeah,
The professors are great. We have very nice
they're really
professors who
good.
are very, very cooperating. I mean, like, after your internal assessments, we get feedbacks. If you have any doubts, you can contact them personally. They are always there. So, yeah, if you want to participate, the college gives you a lot of opportunities. Now, there
Yeah.
are some questions which are asked privately, so I'll just read them out. If they ask why to select you, so basically we have to include our strengths. If they ask you why to select you, yes, include your strengths and present you as a person. So basically, in an interview, you are selling yourself. That take me, even though you will be the one paying the fee, but there you have to sell yourself that I'm the perfect candidate. Please take me. So you have to include your strength. You can tell about yourself. You can be like, okay, yeah, these are my strength. This is my aspiration. This is my goals. Even if I haven't done much before, I know I can do a lot of stuff. When I go into college, I can participate in moods. I can do a lot. So I can basically tell them not only how college will help you, but how you will help the college. Like by winning competitions, you are a good student, sincere student, you'll help them. So that's how you present the answer. And yeah, include your strength and just tell about yourself. uh, Basically, yeah, sell yourself that you are a good candidate. That's all you have to do. Now, yeah,
No, no, no,
they're like,
dude. Me and Sammy, you're from a science background, right?
I'm
no,
from the
no,
science background.
I'm
Yeah, me and Vaishnavi are from science background. Don't worry, it won't help you in any way, but it won't harm you either.
yeah,
Yeah, it honestly doesn't matter. The thing is, right, most of the
Yeah,
teachers already know that we're from a like most of us are from a different background. So they will try to cater their courses in a way that it helps the students who have to study everything from the beginning, like even from the definition of
yeah.
sociology or
We even have bridge courses for that, like a separate courses for people who haven't studied that
yeah,
before. They offer us
that's
bridge
fine.
courses, so you'll get to know the basic. You don't have to worry about that. They know you don't know the subjects, and they'll teach you. You just have to study. So there are few questions that are asked privately. I'll read it again. So, is it mandatory to upload documents of awards, recognition, additional qualification, etc.? Like, I have the mandatory things, but I don't have these things. Uh, Dude, see, it's important to upload the documents because you're marked on the basis of those documents. And if you're writing something in your CV, you need to have something to prove that. That is why they ask for certificate. They are definitely not mandatory. So if you don't have the certificates, if they'll ask you, you can tell that I don't have it with me right now, but it's better if you upload, because that's how you make your application different from others. And you have to back up whatever you have written in your CV. And if you don't have extra co-curricular achievements, then what to write in CV? You can write one or two things that you have done, some volunteering work or whatever competitions you won or something like that. And you can even write about whatever you have done, just present it in a way that it looks nice.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I used to participate in a lot of MUNs, so I've added a lot of MUN things in my CV. I just wrote the name of the MUN, the year I participated in, and my role. I was if I was either a chair or a delegate, and if I were a delegate, did I win any honorable mentions? So these are the things which I wrote in my CV. For me, during my interviews, I don't think they asked a question related to MUNs because like everyone's very acquainted with MUNs and other debates, right? So they'll try to ask you questions more related to the cultural stuff. Like for example, if you wrote something about singing, they'll ask you to sing. Something about dancing, they might ask you about that. For me,
Yeah.
I didn't write much about either of them. I wrote more about photography. So they asked me about that, whether I was a photographer or a editor. So they could ask you about those kind of stuff. I don't think they usually ask much about MUNs, but adding those into the CV will give you a lot of points. So think about that.
Okay, there are like other questions. Wait a minute, I'll just read that. They are all privately, so I guess you guys can't see that. Okay, so there's
Read
a
it
question.
publicly, please. We want to see the question.
Yeah. Last year they asked academic achievements wherein everybody mentioned their 10 plus 2 percentage, but this time it's separate columns. So if you don't have much in that area, can we leave that blank? Okay, yeah, I remember when we were preparing our CV, we just had one column for academic achievement where we had to write a 10th and 12th grades and other academic achievements we had. But it's not preferable to leave anything blank. So if you
Yeah, don't
have
leave anything blank.
yeah, if you have any academic achievement, like you scored a perfect 100 in any subject or even were subject topper, whatever rank
The
your
Sammy
school
here is the state
was.
topper, right?
Yeah, she's a state topper,
That's
guys.
right.
Yeah, just don't mess with her, guys.
Okay, so whatever that is, just try to add something. Don't leave it blank. If you guys want, we can tell you how to tailor your CV personally, because everybody's achievement will be different. So I can't give you a more basic overview, but try not to leave it blank. A blank CV doesn't give a good impression. And then, are there any foreign programs? We do have summer schools and semester
Yeah, we do.
exchange.
Yeah, we recently had a summer school opportunity in
Yeah,
Geneva.
yeah, we had for Geneva and Spain. We get opportunities for summer school and all of that. So there are a lot of foreign program and stuff that you can
No,
go.
you get plenty of opportunities in symbiosis. You just have to
Yeah,
make the most
Yeah,
you
out
you
of
just
it.
just
apply
have
to
to
it.
avail them. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll send you emails regarding that. There's like everything going on every single day. So just
Yeah,
try to
probably
participate
don't
as
do
much
what I
as
did and preferably read the mails
Yeah, don't do
before
that.
it.
See,
Yeah.
even Vaishnavi and I plan of going to a summer school or semester exchange. We were talking about that because we have all of that opportunities via college. So there's a lot of programs, and BICES offers you a lot as a college. You just have to avail all of them. This online, it's very different from us, what our seniors experience, because offline college is much better. You get the entire experience, when you have foreign faculties coming into campus, you have judges taking guest lectures, you get to meet those people, you get to host them. So you even have a personal touch. So I'll tell you one thing, we have our annual fest Simba. We have different committees, and we have Simba is organized on a very large scale. So there are like guests coming all over. So as a part of conclave committee that we have in college, we have panel of legal personalities who come there. So when you go there, you get to host them, you get to stay, take them from airport to their hotels. That time you get to talk with Supreme Court judges, High Court judges, whom you want to intern under further. So we join this committee, so we get to know them, and then later in our internship application, we can write a personalized application like, I got an opportunity to talk to you informally. You inspired me, and a lot of people do that. So college gives you a lot of opportunities like this to meet people, to network, and to even improve yourself. So yeah, if you join, you'll have a lot to do. No, okay, I don't think there are any more questions.
Okay, so like here's one thing which I realized, right? Something common between us and you guys versus our seniors is that we went through our first years completely in an online situation, and God forbid, the COVID situation goes worse. You guys might have to do the same. So one thing which we as our seniors who went through the first year like this, instead of the seniors instead of our seniors, is that guys try your best to attend every class. Do not sleep during classes.
Yeah.
It seems very
Don't
tempting.
sleep
I'm
during
not gonna
classes.
lie.
Don't do that.
Yeah, because
If
you
you
just
haven't
switch it on
joined
and you leave.
college
Do
yet,
not do that. Yeah, because we're paying for all this, right? Don't do that, and try to make notes if possible, and try to stay as active in class as possible, because we're not all of us are going to switch on our cameras. So make sure that you are somewhat known to the teachers, and so that they can like help you out personally if required. So just make yourself known, put yourself out there, talk to people, talk to seniors, talk to us, talk to your fellow peers, so that you guys have a better understanding even before you reach the physical school. So just put yourself out there, and yeah, it'll be fun. Trust me.
So it was different for us.
yeah. Okay, do you have any idea about SLS Noida? Akshay, did you take up the interview for any other college than Pune?
Yeah, I took up the interview for Hyderabad and Pune, not Noida.
Yeah, but the PI round is same for almost all the colleges. I had friends who were taking up if who were taking up interview for like almost all the SLS campuses. The PI round is same. You have to give like CV format is same and everything is same. I don't know what SLS Noida is from inside, but for the PI round, since you guys have to appear for the PI round right now, just take the same tips and the interview round will be more or less the same, and moreover you might even get same professors taking your interview. That happens quite often because professors from SLS Pune take interview for like Hyderabad or Noida campuses, because a few of my friends took interview for like all of the campuses. So yeah, the PI round will be same. There won't be any different for different campuses, just yeah, they'll take it separately.
Oh, ways to contact us. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, most.
we'll be sending our numbers in the chat box towards the ending, or the professor himself can will send our numbers to the professor and he can give it to
Yeah.
you guys. Either one is fine.
Yeah, you can contact us. We can help you with the CV.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yes. So the thing is, it's. I'm gonna have to search for my CV, but I'm pretty sure it's there.
Yeah, I already sent my CV to sir. Sir has my CV. I can share it again if you guys want.
I have shared
I
it. I
shared.
have shared it on the community group.
Yeah, sir shared my CV. I shared my CV already. But if you guys want, I can ask my other friends and other seniors as well to share their CV that you guys can use as a sample.
Okay, so for me, it was a little different because the college asked me to send them a list of achievements for the entrance process. But then I made a proper CV for the internships and for applying to different cells. So I could send either one of them because both of them had the
Yeah.
proper.
Okay. Yeah, that CV I have for the internship thing. You guys want
Yeah, send that, send that.
No, they wanted to hear,
the
but yeah,
chat?
it's okay.
Oh,
Okay, since Vaishnavi is an NRI student, she had a little different CV that she had to send in because NRI admissions are.
yeah, it wasn't that different. It's just that they asked for a list of
Yeah,
achievements
yeah, yeah.
instead of writing all the other things. And I had to send this other letter where all my aspirations and what I wanted and stuff was written. So it was just two separate documents.
Yeah, but if you guys want, you can contact us and we can help you making your CV
Yeah.
and how to edit that. So that'll be okay. I don't think there are any other questions.
Okay, guys, once
Okay.
again,
Okay.
we're just a year older than you, probably. So Like, feel free to ask us questions. It
Yeah,
doesn't
if
have
you
to
want
be
to
that
know
far.
about college, PI, or if you have any fears or anything you have in mind before appearing for your personal interview thing, you can ask. But let me tell you, the personal interview round was my favorite round for the admission. It was super chill. I'll tell you one mistake I did. So they basically have a ice-breaking session where they ask you simple questions, and it's okay if you fumble a little or get lost, because even they understand. So before my interview, you know what, they just asked me a very simple question on how's the weather in your city right now. And I was very scared because I was terrified for the interview, and like, what questions will they ask? I prepared strength, weaknesses, introduction, and even before asking that, just for an icebreaker, they asked me how was the weather. And I fumbled in this question. I legit looked outside my window to tell them that no, it's not raining, and took me 2 minutes to overcome this thing because I couldn't get through the
Oh yeah,
icebreaker
probably
round.
don't do that.
Yeah, I fumbled there. And that is what I'm telling you. It's okay if you fumble a little, and if you don't know answers, they'll understand. I still got selected even after messing up the first question itself.
That was
So
like a
yeah.
huge mess up, and
Yeah.
she's still here, so it's fine.
Yeah, so it's okay if you fumble, just make sure that you come back to your senses and answer it nicely. So don't be scared, be confident, do not bluff. If bluffing works for you, it's okay, but it doesn't work in most of the cases because they are experienced people and they'll
Around.
catch you.
No, it won't go more than like five. I mean, my interview just took like less than 5 minutes, I guess.
Mine was
Maximum
for,
5 minutes. My interview.
yeah, 10 to 12 minutes approximately for every people. It can go more or less. Like in
Yeah,
my
it can
batch,
vary. It depends from
yeah, in
person to
my
person. Yeah.
yeah, in my batch, there were people who had their interview for legit 30 minutes. There were like one or two people who had interview for 30 minutes, and mine was for 10 or 12 minutes. So on a
Yeah,
prox,
mine
it'll
was
be
for
for
five
10,
minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah. Okay, do share your contact if we have doubts about our CV. Okay, we'll share our contacts. You can text us on Telegram. Sir has our contact, but we can share. Okay,
Dude,
is
if
it
they, Yash, if they ask you that question, just tell them that you know how to, do both without both of them interfering with each other. I mean, it's good that you play drums and take it up as an extracurricular thing.
No, no, dude, they won't ever ask you questions like how will it affect your mainstream law
Yeah,
career, because
yeah,
having a
exactly.
hobby is very nice
It's
thing. But
really
yeah,
good.
they might ask you questions like this to make you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, they might ask because
Yeah,
this
wow.
is what they are testing in an interview. How do you handle uncomfortable situations? So you can tell them that playing drums is like my escape from my daily routines. It helps me to concentrate, and everything you have done in your life will help you with your career. So you can tell them that playing drum helps improve my concentration, helps me being more attentive to everything. So while attending classes, while reading, it will help me. So yeah, they do ask questions like that, how your hobby will help you in your career. So just make sure you put in actual points that you feel like. Playing drum is a great hobby, definitely you should put all of this, because just academics doesn't help you as a good candidate. So you can just tell them that it helps me increase my attention, concentration. It even made me a more confident person because when I'm around drums, I feel in my space. It helped me play in front of people. That's why it increased my communication skills or my presentation skills and all of that. These are all soft skills that a lawyer should have. So you can
And
do
and
Yeah,
that.
if nothing,
Kumar,
it helped you increase your memory power, right? Because you're supposed to learn all the beats at the right moment. So it'll help you in your studies as well. I mean, they will ask you some questions which make you uncomfortable. Like, for
Yeah,
example, in my Christ interview, they asked me a question. They were like, okay, as a woman, why do you think there's gender discrimination going on in this field? I was like, yes, to an extent there is. And then they asked me how would that affect me personally, and like how that affects women as a gender. I was like, like for me, I would definitely keep my personal life and my career separately, and would learn to create a difference. I mean, a proper border between the two, and just answer in a way that it helps you. But like just personalize all your answers to a point that they understand your personality, even while they're asking a general question. You know.
yeah, they'll definitely put one or two questions which you will feel uncomfortable about. Okay, so they even asked me if I did any additional courses during the pandemic, or what I was doing that long gap we got. So I didn't take up any extra courses and all of that, but I answered that honestly that see, I didn't do all of this because I was preparing for my boards and extra other law entrances that I was taking. So they'll ask you uncomfortable questions just to understand how well you can handle those situations, because as a lawyer or as a law student also you'll get a lot of these questions. So they're just testing your personality. If they give you uncomfortable questions, just be honest and you can get through that. And just make sure that whatever weaknesses or whatever you're telling, you connect it with law and you present it as your strength.
And in
And
case if
then
you guys are looking, yeah, if you guys are
for
looking for
my
like
PI,
free courses to do during this time, go for ADX or Coursera. They have like very good
yeah.
courses, and try to do something which is related to law school so that it could like help you in the future, right? So okay, carry on, Akshay.
Okay, there are some
So,
other.
see, so Adit Kumar's question, what to answer if they ask if we would. Actually, I got asked the same question for my PI. Like, one of the faculty member asked me, like, if I got into a top NLU, would I prefer Symbiosis or that college? So I told him that if I, as anyone would do, if I get into a top tier law college, top tier NLU, I would choose NLU over Symbiosis. But after the top tier NLU, it's obviously Symbiosis is like the best, kind of the best law college. So just tell them that. That's how you supposed to answer.
Yeah, because
And
even they
I'm
know
pretty
you
sure they're
won't
not gonna
relate.
ask. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna ask
Yeah,
science questions because they're all law faculty
no, no.
members. I mean,
They might
they
ask you questions from basic
did.
science. Yeah, they
No,
did for a
like
lot of people. I mean, like for a lot of people, they did. If you have done science in your high school, they want to understand if you have studied there or not. So they might ask. They might
wow.
ask you
I'm
anything.
just glad they didn't ask me because that would have been bad.
Okay, so there is another question that is asked privately. What all questions were asked when they told you, when you told them you belong to humanities, like I need to do a bit of my basics? So they didn't ask me a lot of questions. They asked me general political science and history. They asked me what was my favorite subject. So mine was political science. So they asked me a few questions about polity here and there, just the basics. And they might even ask you questions from economics, like who was Adam Smith, what do you understand by this theory, just basic stuff that you have done in your 12th. They don't know much about your science subject or that subject. They won't ask you for knowledge. They just want to get an overview that okay, you have studied that and you actually know. And there's like, my VAT was not that well, so how will it affect my scoring? Okay, so before you get your admission, it's divided into three parts. Your SLAT examination carries a 50% weightage. PI and VAT together is other 50%. VAT, I guess, has a 20% weightage, and PI has a 30% weightage. So it's 50, 20, and 30. Together, you get a consolidated result via which you are given the call letter. So if your VAT didn't went that well, if your SLAT was good, and if you make your PI go well, it won't affect much if your VAT wasn't well, because it'll include all three of it. So it shouldn't be an issue. I don't think so. They ask questions related to VAT and what you have written. I don't know anybody who was asked such questions. But yeah, again, they can ask you whatever they want to, maybe.
Yes, Sakit, they just asked me like why I chose science background in 11th and 12th and then took law. So I just told them that. And they didn't ask me anything related to science in general. So what about you, Vaishnavi? They ask you?
Oh, okay. I didn't do the interview, but okay, I could take the example of my Christ interview. So for that, they asked me why I took science over, like why I took science over humanities and stuff. So I told them the truth. I was like, well, personally, I took science over humanities or anything because my parents wanted me to have a broader perspective. Even though I told them I wanted to do law around ninth grade, so I told them that, and then I made it into a positive statement, I guess, by telling them that even though they thought that I would change my mind, I didn't. I stayed resolute to what I wanted to do, and once they realized that in 12th grade, they let me choose the subject which I wanted to study. So science was just my backup, but law is what I want to do in the future. And the questions related to science. So some of my friends were freaking out because they were asked questions about AC and DC generators, but those were like for business topics, not for the law school students. So when I went in, they didn't ask me anything, any questions related to that. So it was just why you switched, and just have a genuine reason. They will believe it. So it's fine.
Okay, so there's another question from Yash. Should I tell them about last year interview if they ask like my waiting list is number is? Should I mention it? See, if you want, you can definitely mention it in a very positive way. You can tell them that okay, last time I didn't get through, my wait list was 8, but I waited for another year, prepared to come to this place again because I knew I can do it. You can present it as your strength, and I genuinely want to get into this college. You can even mention it in your CV while you are preparing that, why Symbiosis. You can write there that last year I appeared for this too. I was waitlisted, but I couldn't get through it. But I wanted to come to this college because of, stuff that the college offers. So I waited another year. You can definitely frame a very good answer, and you should mention that. It'll give a good impression that, you're a consistent student, you're trying, you want to get there. You should mention it. I think you should mention it, but you can mention it in a very nice.
And good luck. You'll definitely get in this year.
Yeah, we'll see you there. Okay, there is another question. If we were asked a question and we don't know its answer, should we blatantly say, sorry, I don't know? Or is there any better phrase or manner to say it? See, if you don't know an answer, you can definitely say that, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer for this question. Can you please ask something else? Or you can say that, okay, suppose they ask you a question about some civil law, like they ask you about tort, but you don't know about tort, for example. So you can tell them, okay, I don't know about, suppose they ask you a question about defamation, but you don't know defamation and you know negligence. You can say that, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know this question, but I know this. Can you ask me this? Or you can blatantly say, sorry, I don't know this answer. That works. That tells you're an honest person and it gives a good impression. Even I did that in my interview once. Even
Yeah.
they understand you won't know all the answers. They don't expect you knowing everything under the sun. So it's okay.
Like for me, they asked me a very basic question, right? They were like, okay, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but yeah, the question was, how many women judges are there in the Supreme Court? And since I was really nervous and freaked out, and this was the first couple of questions, I did not know the answer. I was like, okay, professors, I'm not exactly sure what the answer is, but I'm pretty sure there are more male judges than the female judges. And then they directed their
Damn, you
questions.
turned it around.
I know, right? And then they directed their questions towards that. They were like, okay, why do you think that? And how do you think women, like, as a women, like, they directed the questions towards, like, women based things. So I was like, okay, nice. So that's what happened. Just be honest. That will make them think that you're not someone who feels bad for accepting defeat. Like, seem human.
Okay, there's another question. Wouldn't it affect oppositely like पिछली बार भी नहीं हुआ? No, it wouldn't. Like you don't have to explain it in like you just have to frame it in good words, which will explain your consistency and your determination to get into that college, and that will help. That will turn into your strength rather than your weakness. I don't think so. It should affect in the other way around because even everybody understand not everybody gets through in the first chance. Nobody cares. You can use it as your strength, and you can definitely see the most important thing in your CV and personal interview is that it has to be personalized. You have to add your personal experiences to everything. So if you add something different, you will have an edge over the other candidates because not everybody is trying for the other time. No, there are freshers, there are other people who weren't in your same situation. So you can use this specific situation to frame your answers. If you frame it nicely, it will definitely be in your favor. Okay, how symbiosis is different from other laws. You can talk about you can talk about different curriculum and different stuff that symbiosis offers. It has a good ranking, good alumni network, strong alumni network. It helps you with moot courts, gives you way more opportunities. You can talk about guest lectures, foreign programs. Basically, why do you want to get into symbiosis? That is what you'll answer it. How symbiosis is different from other law schools. Okay, I don't have a really good co-curricular record. Should I be worried? No, you can if they ask you questions about your co-curricular and you don't have a lot of co-curricular, just be honest and tell them that during my school life, I made my academics my priority and I wanted to focus on one thing rather than indulging into different thing and being average in multiple stuff. I just wanted to ace the field I chose. So I focused on my academics. You can frame it that way. I didn't do a lot of co-curriculars, but my academics were the main focus. They'll go there. So just tell them that that was my priority and I worked hard for it. Uh, yeah, and that should be enough. You shouldn't be worried about it.
Done? No questions? है अभी अच्छा.
What are some crucial last minute tips that you can give us? Okay, all three of us can give you last minute tips that can help. We'll start with
Yeah,
Akshay.
okay. So, tips that comes to my mind right now is be properly dressed, be on time, be calm. Okay, it's not just about the answers you give; it's also about how you respond to the situations that they give you. So, no matter how hard they try to put you in like a difficult situation, just don't succumb to the pressure. Be calm. Okay, just till you got this. Okay, it's just a college interview. Just don't complicate it. Gonna be fine.
Okay, for me, I would give the same suggestion my driving teacher told me. Breathe, okay? Like if they asked you a question, if they asked you a question which you don't know the answer to, take a deep breath, lean back, and by this time it'll give you like like at least 2 or 3 seconds to recollect your thought. And they won't take it as a point. And like if you answer really fast, you might fumble around, and that could make them think that you're a very nervous person. But if you take a deep breath and just relax and like collect your thoughts and stuff, it will like they won't think that you're stalling for time. Instead, they'll think that you're collecting your thoughts and like putting it in a proper way that you can answer in a good way, right?
Why do you still have your license?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, just don't use them.
Okay, so crucial last minute tips is yeah, they pretty much covered everything. Be confident, do not bluff, know your CV, whatever you have written in your CV, just know what is there because they ask you questions around that. They might ask you around that. So whatever you have written, you have to know about stuff. Like if you have written about dance, music, or any instrument, sports, know about that sport. Like if you have written cricket, know about the Indian cricket team, major competitions, just around that because they'll ask you question, and then yeah, they have covered pretty much everything. Okay. Is it necessary to wear a tie? Okay.
Wow. Okay. So what I wore is exact. I wore the exact same shirt that I'm wearing right now because it's always. I thought it would be good to wear a white shirt, and I wore a tie. Yes, I did wear a tie. And just to be safe, I wore like a proper trouser and all. Okay. So just it's crucial that you dress for the part. Yeah, you should dress well. I mean, because if you don't, because appearances are like the first thing that they notice. Now, if you dress like really shabbily, yeah, that's not a good thing.
And
So a
also,
tie would be
guys,
good.
yeah, cut your hair in a proper formal manner. Do
Yeah,
not have
don't
a
don't
man bun.
don't do this, bro. Don't do this. Not gonna help.
Yeah, just look more formal and all of that.
Yeah, be well groomed. Be well groomed.
Yeah, and even if you are nervous, a lot of people tend to shake their hands and legs when they are nervous. Just don't let that come on
Don't do
your
that.
face.
Don't do that.
I was legit shivering before my interview. My legs were shaking, but I didn't let it come on my face. See, there's an added advantage. You are doing it over a video call. They can't see you below your face or your legs with everything. So even if you are scared, just appear to be confident. Fake it
Yeah,
till
if
you
you're
make
scared,
it.
just keep it under the
Yeah, just
table. Just
yeah,
don't.
just
Yeah,
keep it to yourself. Smile throughout the interview. Look into the camera, like straight into the camera. It'll pretend that you are, having an eye contact because online interviews are different than what offline interviews generally are. But you have to be presentable. You have to look confident. So look into the camera. Don't look here and there a lot. Don't don't let your nervousness come to your face. Smile. Okay, there's another
yeah. And even
question.
if you and even if you're not calm, just make them think that you're calm. Just smile,
Yeah,
be relaxed. Maintain eye contact.
Okay, so I have learned Kathak for 4 years and I have certificates. Should I mention and how will they ask questions around it? Yeah, definitely you should mention that you are trained in Kathak. That is a major extracurricular stuff. They might
Yeah,
ask
just
you
be
about
ready to dance in front of the camera
no,
if they
no,
ask
no,
you.
no,
no.
no,
They,
not Kathak.
all my co-curriculars were around dance. They didn't ask me to dance. They can ask you to sing, but they can't ask you to dance on a video call. That's very bizarre. They
Wait.
might ask you questions on Kathak. I mean, like you're trained for 4 years. They might ask you about, some famous Kathak dancers. Where did Kathak originate from? It's your art. You should know about it. That is what they'll ask you around. They won't ask you to dance, don't worry. They just ask you to sing because they have asked people to sing.
They could ask you for qualities that you've learned through your years
Yeah,
and how
qualities
that could
and
be
all of that.
incorporated into your law career.
Okay, there is another question. Can I write in my CV that I like to sing? You can write in your CV, but you should genuinely be prepared to sing because that is their favorite question and favorite thing to ask people. If they write they sing, they make you
I don't
sing.
know. They just like to hear people
Yeah,
singing,
they just like to
especially
hear
when it's for
people singing.
interviews. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
I'll tell you. One of my friend was appearing for an interview from SLS Noida. She told that she likes Sufi songs and Qawwali, so they asked them to sing a Sufi song or some very old Kishore Kumar song. Whatever she told, she had to sing it for legit 1 minute, the entire song. So if you write you like to sing, they might ask you to sing. And there's a very good. Is it true that in almost every major law firm in Pune there is a Symbiosis alumni there? Yeah,
Pretty
that's a
sure.
very greatest flex. We have our alumni everywhere. Khitan, Amar Shah, and mm, a lot of partners there are SLS alumni. Our college is 50-year old. Our alumni network is our biggest strength.
Yeah, it's not just Pune. Like I live in Qatar, right? And I was looking for an
Yeah,
internship here during my holidays, and turns out one of them like lives here and goes through I mean like a company here, and it's really good. So they're all
yeah.
throughout the world,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. One of the sitting judge of Jharkhand High Court and the Advocate General are Symbiosis alumni, and they prefer their college student. And in Khitan, Amarchand, all tier one law firms, you find Symbiosis people who are associate, senior associate, partners. So this is what helps Symbiosis student get internships there because alumni network. Okay, there are other one more question that was asked privately. Okay, so my domain is painting mostly. So I have certificate for that. Can be added for the co-curricular activity column and should I know about painting? If you know about painting, it's great. You should definitely add in your co-curricular column. So I had fine arts in my 12th. I wrote that I paint, but I had my CV and my portfolio with me, like a few of my paintings in work if they asked me to show. So while you're preparing, while you're giving your interview, another thing is that keep all your documents handy with you, like your CV, other portfolios, or you want, they might ask you questions around that. I mean, like in an online interview, they won't ask you to paint in front of you because they don't expect you sitting with your paints and brushes. But yeah, do add it in your co-curricular because it's a great achievement. If you're not getting Pune, should we go to Noida? Yeah, definitely you can go to Noida, but it depends on like what other colleges options you have. Speaking specifically of Symbiosis, the preference according to me should be SLS Pune, BA, BBA, then Noida, Hyderabad, and then Nagpur. So if you're not getting Pune, you can go for Noida. I paint. I paint quite well, but I don't have any certificate for that. Should I mention it? Yeah, definitely mention it that I paint. If you don't have certificate, doesn't matter. It's your hobby. You can write that painting or trained for paintings and stuff like that. Like people do for, learning to dance or songs and all of that. You should mention it in your CV.
Yeah, if you're learning something, add the number of years that you've learned it for.
Yeah,
It increases your points.
yeah, definitely. No, BA or BBA doesn't create difference in studying law or placement. It's just another subject. BA or BBA doesn't matter much. What matters is your LLB degree. So generally, the cutoff for BA is higher than what is for BBA. That's how the preference go. No matter what you get, it won't affect your placements or anything. BA BBA doesn't matter. It's just you'll study different subjects. Is it safe to say that assure you will be an asset to the college after mentioning our qualities? Yeah, I mean, like you can definitely say
Yeah,
that.
sure, go for it,
You're
man.
confident. Yeah, definitely. You'll be an asset. Be confident in yourself. Tell them that they'll be lucky to have you. For additional qualifications, I have done abacus training
Yeah,
till
don't
sixth
say they'll be
level.
lucky. You guys will be lucky to have me. That will come out as
That's a little
cocky.
too much.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
Don't go
no,
with
yeah,
no,
just
you'll be
tell them
no,
honored
that.
to
no,
have me.
no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. I just told that be
Uh,
confident and you can say that.
yeah, don't do that,
Don't
please.
say that you'll be lucky. Please don't do that.
Yeah, be
Or,
like, I'll be a valuable
telling
member to your
yeah,
team.
telling them that you've been asset to the college and all that's good.
yeah, you should say that. For additional qualification, I have done abacus training till sixth level, and that was a bit long ago. So I can, yeah, definitely mention that. It shouldn't be an issue. You should mention about the abacus training and everything. Just mention whatever you have done in your CV in a nice formal way. Okay, are there any other questions? What's the best way to introduce ourselves?
With a smile. Seem confident at least. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm legit tapping my feet on the floor, but over here, you need to look as presentable as possible. So, introduce yourself with a confident face. And whatever you say, I'm pretty sure Akshay or Sammy can go for that.
Okay, yeah. Introduce yourself with a smile, look into the camera, and what you speak is you can start with that. Hi, my name is my name is Adit. I belong to this city. I've done my schooling from this. Okay, so I'll tell you what my introduction was. That'll be more easier. I don't remember it actually, but if I was asked to introduce myself, I'll do it that. Okay, hi, my name is Samadha. I I belong to Ranchi, and then I can add one or two sentences about my city just to make it different. Like, I belong to Ranchi, the city of MS Dhoni. I did my schooling from there. I had these subjects. These are all stuff that you have done in your CV. Just make it two or three lines, and after that, add something that is not in your CV, like your hobbies. You can tell, like, as a person, my escape from the mundane routine is to paint, is to dance. I like doing that. I'm also an avid reader, and I find peace in the pages of new books and all of that. Just be a little creative and add something that will tell about your personality, which is not in your CV. So basically, best way to introduce yourself is the best opportunity to make the interviewer know something about you that is not already mentioned in your CV. So after you're done with one sentence about who you actually are and what you're applying for, so that they know who you are, just go for this. Tell something extra that you want them to know. Shouldn't be much. I mean, like, just a minute maximum. How
Yeah, a
long can
minute.
you introduce yourself? A minute is perfect.
Yeah, like no. How long do you normally take to introduce yourself?
Yeah, just a minute.
Keep it on a minute,
Not
man.
more than that.
Yeah,
Sir, I don't think there are any other questions.
Okay, one thing about seniors,
it's a
please call
great.
us by our names. Even once you join the
Yeah.
college, please call us by our
Yeah,
names. Because, like, I'm pretty sure some of you have taken a gap year, and I'm pretty sure, like, we're
yeah,
either younger than you or either you're same.
or the same
Okay,
age.
this is another merit of Simbi. The seniors here are very helpful. We don't call them sir, ma'am, or bhaiya, didi. We just call them by their name, no matter if they are in their 50 years or they are LLM
Yeah, they
students or
don't
LLB
care.
students. Yeah, they tell us to call them by their name, just we are their friends. So we have a very personalized relationship. Sir, I think that we have answered all the questions and there are not any other questions.
Yeah, I'm not good in Hindi, so Sammy.
He told that he has to get used to by calling you by your name.
Yeah, yeah, we hope to see you all guys, see you guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the best,
Literally,
guys.
I think we just ended second year like 2 days before because our exams
Yeah.
just got over like 2 days before. So we
All the best, guys. You all are amazing. Just be confident and you'll be okay.
Yeah, and
that's the
if you
best
guys
thing. That,
get into Symbiosis, please let us know. We're all in Symbiosis Pune,
yeah,
so we could like hit you up with more friends. So
What are the best
yep,
thing about Symbiosis that we can mention for why we want to go to Symbiosis? We can mention about the rankings, the faculties, the co-curricular and extra stuff
placements.
college offers.
and if nothing, like our courses are for 5 years, right? So we can add the overall atmosphere that the Symbiosis Law School Pune
Yeah, definitely.
offers. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we have answered most of the questions. Are there any other questions?
Honestly, for me, it would be the relationship between peers and the teachers, and the relationship between the seniors and the years before, the below that. Because like once when I joined, I thought it was going to be super formal and it's going to be very scary. We'll have to. I mean, obviously, there's not going to be any ragging or anything, but I thought it was going to be a very formal situation considering we joined law school. But it was very chill. Everyone's talking with their with their first names. It's very acceptable. We can hit up the teachers in WhatsApp if we need any personal assistance. So it is a very safe environment for the students there.
Yeah, you'll enjoy once you get there on campus.
Yeah, because we haven't reached the campus yet, so we hope
Yeah.
that
We're almost as clueless as you when it comes to campus. Like on the first day, I'm pretty sure all of us will be searching for the classes together.
in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that is it.
Okay, so are there any more questions, or is that all?
If you guys need any help with your CV, you guys can hit any one of us and we'll help you with
Yeah.
that.
So we should leave the numbers. Telegram.
Telegram ID.
Telegram.
Yeah. Dude, what's Wait, no, I know that I'm there on Telegram. But I don't know what my ID is. Wait, are you guys there in the group, the Symbiosis group,
No, they're not
the
there.
Symbiosis Law School students group? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I'll just type in my number. You guys just
Honestly, just text us
perfect.
on our WhatsApp or
Yeah,
Instagram. Telegram is too formal.
yeah. So that's my number. Also, when do you guys have your interview?
They have it from like 6, I guess. They book their individual slots.
Oh,
They
okay,
have
okay, okay.
We have almost a week left.
And and
yeah.
and when does the results come?
It'll come like a week after the interview and everything is done.
Okay, okay.
All the best, guys. Y'all are amazing. Y'all will do well.
Results on
Just be
21st. Do let us
confident.
know if anyone gets into SLS Pune, because yeah, we can have fun together.
All the best. All the best,
Bye
guys.
guys, have
Y'all will
fun.
be
All the
amazing.
best.
And yeah, hope you guys get in.
Yeah.
Manav sir, are you there?
Okay, guys, like if you have any questions, you can ask by unmuting yourself also. That's also fine.
Okay, we can leave.
If like Manav sir is there, thanks a lot. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. It was really nice talking with you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna leave.
No, I'm the host. I'm supposed to end the meeting. So
Okay,
I guess I'll do that. All the best, guys. Are amazing. Bye bye.
bye.